Look out, Disney investors. Rosie O'Donnell is on the way to The View. At the same time, the FCC is in a major feud with Disney over what The View is exactly and whether or not it's breaking major network rules and guidelines. And the lady behind driving Disney into a war with the U.S. government? None other than Dana Walden, Kamala Harris's best friend. Today, we'll tell you once again why Disney seems more intent on a political food fight than on lifting the money of their shareholders. What a day, what a great day, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming our way where we continue to bring you the news with a capital T. Well, that's the truth, actually, but the N for news, it matters too. Folks, let's dive in today. Click that like button, share, subscribe, and if you've not yet clicked it, just know when you click it, you stick it to the algorithms. It's the notification bell. Just ahead of the Disney shareholders meeting with the report and how they did in the last quarter and all that kind of stuff. Well, it turns out Dana Walden over at Disney, she's the president of the company. She's not the CEO. She's the president. She's number two. Who does number two work for? She wants to pick a war with the U.S. government. That's going to go well for all the investors. We've got this one out of Variety. It says from Todd Spangler, Disney's ABC asks FCC to reject petitions to deny TV license renewals. Says agency is taking punitive action against broadcasters Trump dislikes. That is far too much for a headline. ABC filing says 95% of comments submitted to the agency are in support of its 8 owned TV stations. These are the biggest in terms of media coverage. These are the biggest 8 stations in the country. And because Disney has declared that The View is real news, and because they've tried to skirt the rules for The View, and because of the DEI hiring, which, by the way, we're cited, that parkplace.com is cited by the FCC and reporting on some of this stuff, Disney is in an awful place. I know that's a lot to try to explain, but just know this. Disney has acted, in my opinion, in an insane way for trying to get their shareholders a rise in the stock. Disney's been stuck in the same place for 11 years, and right now they are, the way I see it, they're skirting the rules, they're pushing the government, they're daring them. You can see here from the LA Times, ABC fires back at the FCC, alleging retaliation campaign on behalf of Trump. Meg James is writing this, says ABC is mounting an aggressive legal counteroffensive after the FCC launched a rare early review of licenses for 8 ABC stations, including Los Angeles' Channel 7, jeopardizing network broadcasts. The company portrays the proceedings as political retribution for ABC programming, while FCC leaders cite probes of Disney's diversity policies and ABC's The View as justifications for intensified scrutiny. We told you about this. Jimmy Kimmel's also, I think, part of this. More than 153,000 public comments poured in, about 96% backing local ABC stations, the company said. My thought on that is, I think there was probably a campaign to make that happen. But here's where you know that Disney has left the rails. They're off the reservation, okay? Right here. So The View, Disney wants to declare them legitimate news, and we all know they're not, but Disney's determined to, and then they want them to get to have news program rules applied to that show. And so they want to do that because they don't want to have conservatives on The View. They want to just let it be a mouthpiece for liberals and woke. Okay? So they don't want to have fair campaign rules applied to The View because they're going to call it legit news. And this is part of why the FCC is investigating them, and Disney has declared war on the FCC. Okay. Rather than trying to clean up The View whatsoever, Rosie O'Donnell, they're putting Rosie on The View.
I think that's a great idea. As a person who covers The View frequently, I would love it if Rosie O'Donnell was on The View.
So Rosie left the country after the Orange Man came into power for the second time. Rosie left the country. She went to Ireland. Oh, poor Ireland. We'd like to apologize to you from the United States of America. We didn't send her there. She went there on her own. Rosie's back again. And Rosie, folks, you can be guaranteed is not going to be a news bearer. Rosie is going to come in fully loaded to go after the Orange Man in an anti-news kind of way. And this is what Dana Walden, second in command at Disney, has decided to do. While they are under investigation, while they have the chance of losing their 8 biggest market media stations, ABC-owned stations, at the same time, Dana Walden is saying, here, I will put the woman who despises Trump with a fiery hatred. I'll put her on The View and see what happens. You know, it's a political fight that they're picking on purpose, Lauren, it's childish. It's a company they're not acting in the interest of their shareholders. They are acting in the interest of a political food fight. That's what this is.
Yeah, and the collective IQ of the show just keeps getting lower. It's like, at a certain point, I would hope that the audience starts to feel a little bit dirty watching this stuff, because it's almost Jerry Springer-esque, It's ugly, it's vapid, all right. I guess the way that I would counter, Rosie, is you say you want to bring hope back to daytime TV. Tell us how you're going to do that. What exactly about bringing you back is going to lead to a hopeful landscape in daytime TV? What kind of stories are you going to be centering? How are you going to be talking about the good things going on in the world, since obviously you don't think anything good is going on here? That's how I would ask her what she's going to do on the show.
Yeah, and Jonas, so Jimmy Kimmel, the first lady, had said he needs to be off the air because he made jokes about her being a widow. And she said that was inappropriate, especially in light of what he did following the deletion of Charlie Kirk. And the response from Disney was to put Rosie O'Donnell in Jimmy Kimmel's seat for the summer. And now they're going to upgrade her to a permanent host on The View. I think they're determined to try to make the government fight them. And that's why I say this is not a company interested, I believe, in profits. This is a company interested in politics. I think Dana Walden is going to hyper-partisanize the company and put them into a very bad place for those who wish to make money from the House of Mouse.
Yeah, what's interesting is back in the day, Rosie O'Donnell did have an unthinkably nice talk show. It was actually pretty successful, as I understand it. It was all an act, though. The whole thing about having a huge crush on Tom Cruise and being a very nice person. It's kind of funny how these daytime talk show hosts that maybe swing in interesting directions, there end up being these massive stories and scandals about how they handled themselves in their productions. Rosie O'Donnell would not be the person I would bring onto The View, because that would be like inviting the town drunk into the liquor cabinet and saying, well, this time we'll only have a little bit.
Well, she's been specifically chosen, though, Jonas, to poke the Trump administration. The Trump administration, the FCC, is investigating Disney for skirting the rules around news programs and fair representation of politics. So you have to have equal conservatives and liberals, and if you have one person running for an office, you have to have their competitor on network TV, because it's network TV. It's the public's airwaves. And at the same time that Disney is facing this kind of legitimate threat of losing their stations over this, they said, well, what if we put, the most vociferous hater of Trump on The View every single day? What if we did that? So I don't see it any other way than Dana Walden determined to do what she's doing. She's Kamala Harris's bestie. They're best friends. Dana Walden introduced Kamala Harris to her husband. And Jonas, I think Disney is just, Wall Street, I don't know what they're thinking about it. The Wall Street people who allowed this to happen, where they put Dana at number 2. This is not working out well. And the stock's been, we're negative 44% over the last 5 years. It's crazy.
Right. And there's nothing about the View, which is shot in the Robert A. Iger building in New York City most of the time. I think that putting Rosie O'Donnell in this situation is a dare. And I think that maybe we're on the same page on that.
Yeah.
Jimmy Kimmel and the position that he's in now, I think he knows that his show is doomed, and he would like to be fired so he can go down as a martyr as opposed to a financial failure.
I'm not sure he's doomed anymore.
Well, because Colbert, all of Colbert's audience went over to him.
Yes, and because Dana Walden, I think, is determined to politicize this company. And we're hearing this, by the way, from people in the studio sending us emails saying, "Hey, you guys need to be covering this. My studio inside Disney is going back to crazy politics under Dana Walden." So, it's slight conjecture here, but Steve, this company is supposed to be working hard to make money. Fighting the U.S. government this way over something silly. I mean, The Price is Right triples the ratings of The View every single day. This is a ridiculous fight that makes them no money.
But there's no one that can smile like her.
Like Rosie?
Yeah. So like a smile is like $1,000, right? And
Now you're into physics. You're right. I don't know how you do. That's an upside down smile. I don't know how it's possible.
Because originally the thought that I had is like, does People Magazine really hate her? Like to find like the worst picture of her. And so then I had to look it up. Okay. So she blames her upside down smile on the fact that she lost weight. Okay. Lord. Yeah. So I was trying not to die laughing as you guys were talking.
Well, let me put it this way, Steve. And we're not, it's never a great idea to make fun of a lady's looks, but if you were to Photoshop her smile there and just rotate it,
flip it around. So I was actually going to try and do that. And then I was like, so that was in the process of me trying to figure out, was this like a legit thing? Because I'm like, if it was legit, I wasn't going to comment on it. But I'm like, she's saying she lost weight.
It's interesting because I would not have noticed that until you pointed it out, but it's odd.
It's literally upside down. It says she noted that the extra skin around her lower face and jawline shifted due to gravity. That I'm like,
so the real truth is she had plastic surgery before coming in for Jimmy Kimmel.
There's a little bit of that. Yeah, she did actually in 2026.
Yeah.
So, but this is
That's
the
this
thing.
year.
This is what I'm actually more convinced of. That is actually her disposition, right? Like that angry look.
Oh, an upside down smile, like an inverted joy.
Yeah, like this is who she is, and that's what you see now. What's on the inside is making its way out, and obviously I'm not a doctor, but there's
the troll is not a doctor.
What's troll on the inside is making its way out. That. Go ahead. Go ahead, Steve.
Comments. But anyway, I just want to make more jokes. But no, it doesn't make sense, obviously, for a realistic standpoint. But as you said, they're trying to be political, and just to throw in my own problems here in Canada, like they're doing the same things with CBC right now. They're doubling down on this stuff because the quote unquote message that they've been putting out for the last 3 years is failing. People are starting to see through it. And so in order to be heard and noticed, it's the whole, they pound the table in order to get their attention, to get their point across when they have nothing of substance to say. So you just shake your fist and look grumpy when you do it. And you
know what? I actually got curious. I looked up Rosie O'Donnell's smile. She's always smiled this way. It's not a recent thing. I had never noticed this before.
Like a rabbit.
That's interesting. I've never seen somebody smile this way.
This is Lauren's Berenstein Bears moment. This is the Mandela effect finally for Lauren. I never knew Rosie smiled upside down.
This is the same look that Lauren gets though. When he's like,
her smile.
When Lauren's like researching Star Wars and he finds something, he's like, I've never seen this. And that's the same expression, folks.
Folks, here's the expression investors are going to have. They're going to fight the FCC. They're going to bring Rosie on to poke at the administration. Meanwhile, stock currently at the time of this recording is $98.14. It's been there since the very beginning of 2015. That's when this stock entered this territory. If you've been holding Disney stock since 2015, the beginning of the year, 15 and a half years later, it's still worth the same dollar amount. The problem is dollars are worth less now than they were then, which means
no financial advice.
No financial advice, but your wallet's been in the vice if you have been hanging on to Disney stock. Apologies to one Mexican Iron Man. Parting is such sweet sorrow, ladies and gentlemen. It's only made sweet because there's more content on the way. We never stop. It drives the Holly Weirds mad, but we've got decades left in the can, and we keep going and going and going. Oh, wait. Are we showing our cards? That's right. We'll never stop going near and far and sending out the content you love. Folks, you can help us continue to do just that. Smash that like button. Drop a comment down below. Let us know your thoughts. And until the next time, keep learning, keep growing, and as always, keep having fun.